Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday Night Knit Chat. And this week, we're coming to you from, where are we coming from, Zoe? Where are we?
In Muskoka.
Yeah, and so, but Kelly's not. Kelly, where are you coming from?
Courtwright, Ontario,
So
Canada.
My name is Noelle, and this is
Kelly.
And
Kelly.
So we're coming to you tonight. We've got a split view. Zoe and I are in Muskoka, so we're up here for a week of vacation, but Zoe's been busy, so she's got some knitting to share with us. Not yet, but we'll share it. And we want to welcome everybody to the Knit Chat Cafe. And Zoe, where did I tell you that some of the people were from that are watching? Do you remember?
London, Ontario.
Yeah, someone from London. Who else lives in London?
I do.
Yeah, you don't have to be shy.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, Zoe was very excited that someone was here from London, Ontario. And Zoe, there's lots of people saying hi to you in here. So
Sarah's here from London too.
Hi.
I think Zoe knows Sarah too, doesn't she?
And Sarah's here from London.
Yeah.
And I think you met Sarah before down at the bridge one time.
Yes, I think so.
And at Little Red Mitten. So, and who likes going to Little Red Mitten? What do you look for when you go there?
For all of the different stuffies they have put around.
Yeah, they have lots of different stuffies, don't they?
Yes.
And Zoe used to be on Knits and Pieces a long time ago, right?
When I was a little baby.
Right.
Yes.
Why are you on here today?
Because
Why?
Because I made a hat and I wanted to show it
To everybody.
to everybody.
Right. And is this your very first finished? We call it an FO. Is this your very first FO? Okay, you can show it to everybody. Hold it up. Yeah, there you go.
Wow. I can't believe you made that, Zoe. That's amazing.
So what did you make it on?
I made it on a...
Here, we can show them.
I'm working on something else on it, but...
Okay, you can show them what it is. So remember I told you what that was called? A knitter's loom.
A knitter's loom.
Yep, but it makes real knit stitches, doesn't it?
It does.
Yep. Yep. You got to hold it up so they can see it. There, we'll hold it this way and you can see how it's coming down. So what are you making on it now?
I'm making so it goes on your cup when you're like drinking.
Oh,
it's like towards you have a hot drink.
Right. And it keeps it warm.
Very clever.
And it's got a little heart that we're going to sew on it after.
Mm-hmm.
And did you show them this tool that we use when we're doing this?
Yeah, it's just...
Where did it go?
Oh,
anyway, it's sort of like a hook, right? And we put all the yarn around and then you hook it over.
Mm-hmm.
And you were finishing a row one time and it was time to go have breakfast. And what did you say?
I need to finish a row.
You need to finish the row.
What did you tell me earlier, Zoe? Who do you think you're turning into?
Grandma.
Grandma.
Okay, and are you going to make more things on that?
Yeah,
okay.
And I have some yarn that I'm going to make it
okay.
on that.
You can show them. So that one's a nice purple yarn.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that color. Very nice.
And
a pink.
And
lastly.
Yeah.
Oh, that was really pretty. Really nice. Can you try the hat on and show us what it looks like on?
Oops.
Oh, Zoe, that looks so good.
And we've got a picture here. If some people remember when Zoe was on before, we've got a picture right here. Who's in that picture?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so that was Zoe when she was on Knits and Pieces a long time ago, right, Zoe?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a then and now picture. So before you had to wear the hats that Grandma made, and now you wear the hat that you made.
Yeah.
And can you tell everybody who you have plans to make more hats for?
My cousins, Molly, Isla, Penelope, and the new baby that's coming.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very
maybe,
nice.
and maybe for Declan and
maybe
Mackenzie
for-
too, but we have to figure out how to make the smaller ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to say you're going to go down now, and what are you going to go do? Roast?
Roast marshmallow.
So, you know,
That sounds
bye,
awesome.
and say
Bye.
thanks for.
Bye, Zoe. Thank you for showing us your knitting.
Thanks for watching on the chat.
Okay, so say see you later when you have more
See you
FOs.
later.
Okay. 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 Oh, you're
Adorable.
right. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay, we're back.
We're back.
Yeah, I was actually surprised at how well she could do that.
Yeah.
So this is like a knitter's loom that I just got from Michael's. This one's got 36 pegs on it. So like it makes a pretty good size hat.
I'm impressed that she had the
She had
stamina
the
to stick
patience
with
to do
it.
it. Like
Yeah.
she did all of the looping over. Like we had to wrap the loops around because even I had trouble with that because that yarn in particular was pretty springy.
Yeah.
And if you missed one loop, the whole thing just went. But yeah, she did a really good job and she stuck with it. So
Good
next
for
year
her.
she says she wants to learn to really knit with knitting
To
needles.
really knit.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, that's a great project.
Yeah. So
Very good. I love the colors too.
first of all, I want to say thanks, Kelly, for taking the show out last week. So and unfortunately live, you never know what's going to happen. And but to be fair, I had a great time down on the dock drinking Prosecco while you finished the show.
Well, I was a little bit nervous at first because it's just that strange feeling. It's like almost like, somebody has taken your kind of like right hand away. And, we kind of we don't have a script, but we have a plan in place.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden that's out the window. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, now what? But then I settled in and I just kind of got in my head and I thought, you know what? I am among friends. Everybody here is our friends. I know a lot of you, and those of you I don't know, I feel like I know. So why should it feel any different? But it just felt strange. I wish they could have all been talking back to me too.
It's just hard to do the talking and do the reading and know what the comments are at the same time.
Yeah, that was a little tricky too. That was, and it is live. And, like a few people said, oh, well, it's just like, lots of podcasters do that on their own. But yes, I've done some pre-recording on my own where I have an opportunity to go back and edit. And plus I'm only speaking to the camera. This was, as you say, it was trying to read the comments and respond to those comments and find the things in the back of show. Yep. So anyway, a huge thank you to everybody that stuck with me. And it was fun, but I definitely missed you, Noelle, and I'm happy to have you back this week.
Okay. So Anne asked how old Zoe's 6. So yeah, so she's excited about it. I think she's actually going to be a product knitter. She wants the final product. So
I think so. Yes.
But anyway, she did a good job. So okay, so did you have any questions?
I did not have any questions this week. Yeah, I sort of rely on you for the email for that. So no, I didn't see anything come through in the comments.
Okay, I do have 2. One was about the little needle tightener thing that we have that Julia has made us with the clay.
Yes.
And I know another friend in Chicago had made us one too, but they just wanted to know, and I don't know because I didn't make them. They wanted to know whether or not you have to bake it.
I think you do.
Right. I think you have to bake it.
And why I think that is because when I was thrifting this week, I actually found a few bundles of polymer clay that had not been opened at an extremely great price. And like I was kind of like squeezing a little bit and it still felt soft and pliable. So I think it's going to be fine. But it does definitely say on there that you bake it. And I'm pretty sure that that's what Julia told us, although Julia's not in here tonight to confirm it. She's out for dinner with her hubby, so she'll be watching tomorrow. But I am pretty sure that you bake it.
Yeah, I think Jacqueline's made some stuff with the polymer clay before and she had to bake it.
Yeah.
So that was one question. And then the other question is about how to edit a post once you've put it on Ravelry. So I took a couple of pictures here. So when you go in, you can actually go back to your original post. Okay, so let's say this is your post. So you can see where I've highlighted in yellow down at the bottom of the screen. And there's 3 little dots. So those 3 little dots, all you have to do is click on it. And once you do that, this will come up. It'll say reply, edit, delete, or flag post. So you can, if you wanted to delete it and start all over, you could do that. If you just want to change something, just hit that edit and it will bring the original where you put the information in, and you can adjust it any way that you want. And that way it doesn't put an extra post in there, because if you do delete it, it just gets rid of that number entirely and then puts in a new post. So that's all there is to editing it. Just those 3 little dots, hit edit, it brings up your information and you can adjust it through there. So I didn't want to take a chance of bringing in an extra screen here when.
Yes. Yeah. We didn't need any issues tonight.
Yeah. So I don't have my tightener thing with me. All it is the Palmer plate. It's kind of around one of the little tools that comes with all of your cords, so that you can tighten up when you attach a cord and a needle on an interchangeable set. So. Oh,
I didn't realize that that's what she had put in there. Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what she put in there.
Oh, okay. So like one of those little, is it I'm trying to think, the Chagoo, is it a T-shape, a little T-shaped tool? Yeah.
Yep. So. Okay. So we should maybe move on to what we're wearing.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to go first?
Sure. So I am wearing the Rhoda sleeveless top by Irene Lynn. This is done in the Knitting Loft Cardi, and it's the color pink chocolate. And I've got a couple of pictures here. So let me grab them. So it's kind of like an all over lace. I believe that I did this on a 4mm needle. It took, let me look here. It took 1.87 skeins of the Cardi, and the Cardi is like a DK weight, 50% merino, 50% hemp yarn. And yeah, I really like the top. It's got a split hem. You could even wear this like in the fall, spring, like over a shirt or over a turtleneck.
I think it would be a cute vest.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and I really like the Cardi yarn for this time of year. It does have a nice drape once you've blocked it, washed it, blocked it. And yeah, I've knit more things in the Cardi. Love the colors that it comes in. I could see knitting more of these because it was a really super simple top to knit. Like it looks a little bit more complicated than it is, but it's just a really basic, easy lace pattern and then just a bit of ribbing. So that's all you're alternating between when you do the top. So
yeah, it's really nice. I do really like it.
Okay. And you're wearing?
I am wearing the Kutar tee. I had to think about that for a minute because I'm working on the Kutar top as well. But this is a pattern by Sari Nordland, and I made it cropped. So this is, it's just short. I like to wear it over dresses. I used Coast. I held 2 yarns together. So I held Coast and Titicaca together. The Coast is in Red Currant and the Titicaca is in Rose Bay. And I've really gotten a lot of wear out of this sweater to date, and I will continue to wear it. The lace is really interesting because it is Japanese lace, so there are no rest rows. So you do have to just keep knitting lace after lace after lace, and it has a really interesting sort of like a little gathering stitch. And I will show you that later, because what I have is the top part of my Kutar top. And I've blocked that out so that you can see it. So, but this is a really lightweight sweater, and I do get a lot of wear out of it. I wear it over dresses, but I also wear it over shirts as well. I have a couple of shirts that I like, and yeah, I wouldn't hesitate to knit it again for sure.
It's pretty. I really like that one. Someday. But yeah,
I was down here today trying to organize myself. We are leaving in the morning for our big trip, and I was trying to organize myself down here today. And once again, I absolutely had project paralysis. I'm just down here and I'm just looking around at things going, I don't know what I want to take with me. I don't know what I want to knit. I might be reaching the point where I have too much now, and I'm just struggling to put thoughts together because I had good intentions when I bought a lot of it, and now there are so many good intentions floating around in my head that I can't sort them out anymore. So I really actually don't know what I'm taking with me. I don't have my knitting packed yet.
I have 9 whips here with me.
You have 9 whips. Oh my goodness.
We're only here for another couple of days, but yeah, I know. I didn't know what I wanted to work on, but
I
you know
know,
what?
and that's how I feel too.
I've worked on 8 of them.
Did you? Well, good.
Yeah.
Very good.
So-
Did you finish any of them?
I did.
Oh, good.
So
Finished this week, or were they finished from last week when you
one
didn't
was
get to show
finished
them?
last week, one was finished this week.
Nice. Very
So-
nice.
Okay. Okay. So I guess we're moving into finishes.
Okay.
Okay. So do you have any FOs?
Yes, I do. I have one.
Okay.
You
2.
have more, so you can start.
Well, 2. Okay. So my first one is my love letter. I can't remember if it's called Tea or Top. Let me just Love Letter Top by Veronica Lindbergh, who is Kuda Bakika. And there it is. And this is done in, and I've got some photos here. This is done in Wool Addicts Pride, which is actually, at least in Canada, distributed through Lang Yarns. So,
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that.
yeah. So, and let's see here. I do have some photos. So this one is basically an all over lace. You start at the top. So when at the top, you are going back and forth, and there are sections in this that are laced with no rest rows, and then there are some sections that are laced with a rest row in between. So
Okay.
of course, the ones with the no rest rows have to be up when you're doing the back and forth with the purling. We wouldn't want it to be easy and have the rest rows where you're going round and round.
No.
But anyway, so it's got nice detail. It's got a pattern that goes all the way down the side. There's just another view. Really fun to knit because it
is really pretty. I like it a lot.
I really like it. And it's fun to knit because you're constantly changing. You've only got like so many rows of one pattern before you switch out and you're doing something different. So basically I did the second size, and it took 1.59 skeins of the Pride, which is a DK weight yarn. It's kind of like similar. It's a little bit lighter than the Lena or the Belle. And I did it on 3.75 millimeter needles. So, and then the top part's just got like an I-cord around the neck. It's got I-cord around the sleeves. And then the bottom's just got like a ribbed bottom, which I did a alternating cable cast off on.
It's really pretty.
Yeah, I really like it. The yarn is really nice and drapey, but like it's been blocked and the holes are not too wide. So it's still okay if you've got like a tan colored bra or something underneath. But yeah, might be nice to have some in some other colors too. So, okay.
Deborah says that she keeps saying somebody should make a wedding dress with that top. They should turn that top. Yeah, it's very pretty.
Well, it is. And I mean, down at the bottom, it does have like the very last thing is hearts, like around the bottom. So it would be perfect for a wedding dress. And I just want to say too, I did all of the baubles. I did the baubles. So I'll bring a picture back up. I don't think that it really, so there's like, first of all, they're up above like my full bust line.
Right.
Right. So they're not really, I don't know if you can see it better but I think they look fine, and they're not huge. Like you can see, I was going to use my pointer, but they're up above. They're not right on the fullest part of your bust, and they're not.
No, they're fine. They're completely fine.
Huge baubles, and even looking at the bottom, you can see even in the hearts, like they're not. And now maybe that's a factor of whatever kind of yarn you use to do it. Like maybe if you've got something that's thicker, they would turn out like more obvious, or where the top particularly fits you, maybe the size that you're doing. But I kind of gave it a try to see where those were going to hit before I put them in here. And since they were above here, I just put them in anyway.
Did you, the yarn that the pattern calls for, is the yarn that you're using a match for it? Or did you have to do some
I think that mine's a little bit, my gauge is a little bit smaller, which is why I did the second size instead of the first size, but not a whole lot smaller. I believe that the original yarn, and I believe a lot of people have done it in the Sandin's Garden Lena or the Drop Spell.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, it looks really good. Really good. I like it a lot.
So,
okay. So I finished one thing. Get out. Might be tricky to show. The Lost in Time. I don't have another picture of it. But I blocked it already this week. It is. It's really pretty.
It's very pretty.
Yeah. And that gradient turned out so good. I love the way that worked out. So I was able to use, this is, it's 1,000 meters in one of these Scapia's whirls, right? And I was able to use all but 13 grams of it. And I wasn't able to complete the final. So you can see pretty easily that there's like a section that repeats. Let me see, like from here, there's a repeat here. But I wasn't able to complete that final repeat in the pattern. So I just modified it a little bit to do this bind off. This bind off is 3 rows, or the framing rows, I guess. And I had them all done, but I didn't like the way it was sitting. It looked to me like it was gaping out a bit too much from the shawl. So I tore those 3 rows back out, which is the beauty of crochet.
Yeah,
just whip it back out. And I created my own sort of lead-in row to those 3 rows and did something a little bit different than the pattern suggested, but I could not be happier with this. And this feels, so it is a cotton acrylic blend. It's very, very soft. It blocked up amazingly. And I know that this is going to be something really pretty that I can take with me. Like when I travel, this looks really good. I have a black dress this looks really nice with. I think it would look really good over a gray dress. And it would just be nice. You know, sometimes I find like on the plane or on a train, I need a little something over my shoulders, but I don't want to carry a big shawl. And I think in the summertime, this will just exactly fit the bill. This was the colorway Lavenderlicious. And the pattern did call for tassels. And I guess that's what I could have used those final 13 grams for. But I also felt that the pattern had enough going on that I didn't need to add tassels to this. I thought I would just let it sit. But I have to say, oh, is that an end? Did I miss an end? Oh my goodness. All right. This can't stand. That's going to have to be dealt with tonight. But anyway, sorry about that. I think I'll get a lot of wear out of it. It's really pretty. And it was really, really cost effective. I think, I'm trying to remember, I think it was somewhere in and around the neighborhood of about $30 that I paid for this. And so to get an entire shawl out of one skein, and it was fun. It was just, it was something really different and fun to do. So I would
having a lot of
highly
fun
recommend it. And the pattern is free. I think I said that. Yeah. So there we go. All right.
Okay. So my next finished object is my Neela sweater by Natasha Hornby.
Oh, I'm excited to see this one.
So here we go. I don't have any. I just finished it yesterday, so I don't have any finished object pictures, and I haven't blocked it because we're up here at the cottage. But this is done in Sonder Yarns Muse, which unfortunately is a discontinued yarn, and it is the colorway Free Spirit. Yes. And the Muse blend is 90% merino, 10% linen. So like you can see the little bit of flex, like whitish flex is the linen, but this pattern was really cool. I really liked knitting it. You can see that it looks a little flary there at the end, but that's because it's not blocked yet. And it's also because the bind off is like a rib, and then you do the row of stocking it and then you bind off. So I did it for down here, and I know when it's blocked out, it'll be fine. But around the armholes, it did call for that. But I just did the rib and then a alternating cable cast off. Same with the neckband, although I think the neckband didn't call for the, I don't remember. I just did it the way I wanted. I can't remember what the pattern said. So this is the size.
Knitter's choice.
Yeah, this is the size 2 in the pattern, and I used a 3.5 millimeter needle, and the gauge is 24 stitches for 4 inches. And she called for a 3 millimeter needle. Mine would have been way too tight on a 3 millimeter needle. Like I know if I use 3.5, that I would get that. So it's kind of like, you've got these.
And that's interesting because you rarely go up needles. You often go down needle sizes.
No, I usually go up because I'm a tight knitter.
I thought you always go down a needle size because you often think, oh, it's too loose a gauge. I'm going down a needle size.
No, I sometimes will knit at a tighter gauge than the designer calls for.
Okay.
But if I, there's no way on a 3mm needle, I'd get like 26 stitches or something.
Yeah, probably.
Right. So this is on a 3.5. I did do the rib at the top on a 3mm needle, and it's a really neat pattern. So she's got the twisted stitches going down the side, and then it's also got at the back these full fashioned where you've got the shoulder seam kind of comes down the back. And you know what? It was funny because I tried it on after I just got one sleeve done, and I thought it was kind of bunching here, but surprisingly, when both of them were done and I put it on, it actually sits really nicely across the back. So I'm really happy with it. She's got the twisted rib stitch going down the back too. So there's always something going on in the pattern, but her patterns are really
interesting construction, right? Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And the sleeve is, it's kind of like a set-in sleeve, but you shape the sleeve cap with short rows. But the short rows are all in the pattern, but it was really simple to do. The pattern calls for 3/4 length sleeves. Mine only come to about here. I think I've only got 8 grams of yarn left. The pattern also includes like a cap sleeve if you just wanted to do a cap sleeve. But I thought this is nice for fall and spring with just the sleeves that kind of come to your elbows.
Yeah, yeah, it looks very good.
Yeah, but she really does write a nice pattern.
Yes,
I really do like Natasha Hornby patterns. So
I still want to do her artist shawl. I just do. I know I don't wear shawls as much as I wear sweaters, but the construction of that, and I think I just really want to play with the color pattern in it, and it just really appeals to me. So, okay.
So, do you have any whips?
I brought a couple down. I worked on, I actually took, I won't show it again because I said I'm not going to show it again until it's finished. I'm still knitting that little shawl from Mayak, and I took it with me under the bridge last weekend, and I got 4 stripes knit that day. So, I mean, but yet those balls magically don't look a bit smaller again. They are 25-gram balls, and I cannot believe that I am still working on this thing. I am ashamed actually to say I'm still working on it, but I really don't work on it when I'm at home. So I'm taking it with me, and my mission to myself is it's coming back finished. It's coming back finished. That's it. So I'm going to have to put some miles on that when we're driving every day, but it is lovely. I do love it. So how many do you have? How many whips?
1, 2.
Oh, you said you have a boatload.
7.
Okay. Well, then you better start.
Okay, so my first one is socks, which I really need to get cracking on these because they kind of took a back seat because I just got distracted. So these are the Mary socks, and this is one of the Lord of the Rings socks that I'm doing for Christmas. So these are the Mary socks by Claire Ellen, and I do have...
Oh, I love that color.
So the pattern is turning out really cool. Like it really is cool.
Yes.
So I've got about one more pattern repeat of 16 rows before I'm at the heel, but I will get these done by the end of, what month are we in? August. End of August. So they have the pattern that goes down the front, but then even down the side, there's pattern going down there too. So this yarn is Queensland Tenderfoot. The color is Goldenrod, and it really, the color just has so much.
Really beautiful.
It's really pretty. So those are on their way. I do have to, they're not car knitting though. And they're even like, cottage knitting with Zoe, like you need something that's a little bit
less patterny.
Not something that you have to concentrate that hard on. So these have kind of gotten set by the side, but they will get, I got to have at least one done by next Tuesday. And that way I'll be able to finish them by the end of the month. So, but yeah, I am enjoying them, and they are looking really nice in that yarn. So,
okay. Before you go on to the next one, I don't want to lose this comment. Angela was asking a question, and I know you just finished knitting these socks. So
I held the rivet socks, and I'm having a hard time with the German short rows, and the tutorial suggests it hasn't helped. I can't think of another tutorial offhand. My favorites to go to if I'm looking for a tutorial, I really like Suzanne Bryan.
And that's who Marianne just mentioned too. Yeah.
And I believe a lot of people like Very Pink Knits.
Yes.
So you might want to try those and see if they work.
Okay.
So if I can think of another one, I'll put it down underneath the video. There won't be show notes until after I get home from the cottage. So Anyway. Okay. So,
All right. You can show another one.
okay. So the next one is
Isabel and Mickey are both working on the artist shawl too, by the way. I do want to do that. See, I should have got yarn for that. I could have done that on my trip. That would be a fun one to knit.
Yeah.
I have Patagonia. I wonder if I have enough. Now I'm thinking.
Okay. So my next whip is the Seaborn sweater. And it is the Seaborn Tee, actually, by Herb Garden Knitwear. And this is done, I believe the original pattern is in either Belle or Sandins Garnlina. I'm doing it in both. So I'm doing, the main color is the navy in the Belle. So that's what I've got done so far.
Oh, I
So
like that.
the Belle is the navy, and then my stripes are the Sandins Garnlina in the color Sunny Lime. So I've got maybe another 4 or 5 rows before, like, it's not a super long tee, and I'm not super long. So I'm almost at the point where I will divide for the arms, but it's got a really pretty pattern stitch down at the bottom, like a lace. And that pattern is also at the bottom of the sleeves. So I actually put this aside because this is easy car knitting. So I can kind of set aside for the car, but I really got into that Neela and really wanted to get it finished. So
yes,
but this has been fun too.
I actually pulled that yarn out for, oh, never mind. I don't know what I'm thinking. I was thinking you were still talking about Cardi. You're talking about Belle. Never mind. Ignore me.
Yeah. So I'm really enjoying it. So
yeah.
Again, I want to get it done because its sleeves come to about here. So it would actually be a nice sweater to have done getting into the fall weather. And I mean, for September, I'm going somewhere warm anyway. So
that's
I can
right.
have warm things to wear.
Yes. So. That's what I was thinking. Actually, so that's some of the yarn that I played with and pulled out today. I thought, well, maybe I'll take this. I have the Cardi yarn from the Knitting Loft that I bought to make a Tolsta. I have the navy and then that pop of coral. And I thought that would actually be a good sweater for car knitting, as you mentioned, because it's pretty easy. And also I thought that would be a nice fall sweater too, like a transitional. So
I just wanted to pull this up. Jeannie says that Chili Dog Knits, and Chili Dog Knits is good too, and Nimble Needle. So those are another couple of channels that you could go to for tutorials on how to do the German short rows. So.
Yeah. And Sherry, my shawl was crocheted. Both Noelle and I have been dipping our toes back into crochet land, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm really, really enjoying it. I haven't crocheted very much to speak of in quite a long time, and I'm having a lot of fun. I see other projects in my future. Okay. All right, so I'll show one off. This one's the easy peasy one. I wanted to have something super easy on needles for the car, so I cast these on for my husband using Croy, Peyton's Croy. This is the Eclipse colorway, Eclipse stripes, and I have 2 skeins of it. So, and I thought he's not very color forward. Like, I look at this and I'm thinking heels and toes would be great in like a nice red, a deep red, or like that limey yellow green. But he's like, well, you could just put gray in there for heels. That's kind of where he lives. So anyway, I cast this on last night, just had a little hour. So I thought, okay, I'll cast this on and then I'll have something really easy for the car. So this is how it's knitting up. I'm just putting in a cable on both sides of the leg. I don't know why that. There we go. And I've got them going in opposite directions, I think, don't I? Yes, I do. And because that would be important to me to have that. So yeah, basically there's no pattern for these. I'm going to do an afterthought heel because I haven't done that in a while. I've been busy doing shadow wrap heels. So I'm actually going to go back and do an afterthought heel, but I will mark it ahead of time before I cut. So I don't want to put a gray heel in there. I really don't want to put a gray heel. I want to give him like a little pop of color, but I don't know. So I cast on 68 stitches because normally I think that we would do a 72 for a man, but the Peyton's Croy is a little bit thicker. There are only 350?
It's like 150 something in one.
Or 166 yards, yeah. And normally like you would get about 230 yards in one of these. So it's definitely It's a little bit lighter than a sport, but it's definitely a thick fingering. So I think 68 stitches will be pretty good. But I am pretty happy with the color.
Yeah, it looks good. I have that color. I don't think I've knit it yet, but
I think you have every color.
The Croy does make nice strong socks.
It does. And then the other thing too that I pulled out is I had some little like leftovers from the Regia socks, the like all of the Arne and Carlos patterns and whatnot, because Miles is actually starting preschool in the fall, and he's going to he's going to 2 preschools, but one of them is the outdoor school. And so they will be outside. And on his list of things that he must have to attend the preschool is merino socks. So Gigi is going to be knitting him some little socks. He does not like to wear socks and shoes, so this will be a bit of a struggle, I'm sure, to get him into socks. But once that cold weather comes, I think he'll argue a little bit less. So I thought these would be fun. Like I said, I have lots of like little 50-gram ends from knitting adult socks, and those will be easy to match up little pairs for him. So I have bundled that into my car knitting too. Okay. What else do you have?
I am working on my smoked orange. So this is a pattern by Tia Coleman.
I love that sweater.
I really like it. So it's smoked orange by Tia Coleman. So it's basically an all over cable, kind of slightly V-neck shaped cardigan. So I got the yarn for this when we were in Chicago at Wool & Co. And the yarn is the Fiber Co. Cumbria, which is merino, massam, mohair.
Yes.
So it really feels nice. So it's like a DK light worsted weight yarn, and the stitch definition is really turning out really nice on this. I'm really enjoying it. I've got the first full ball in, so I did roll a second ball. I just started into that. The only kind of tricky thing is there's some like knit 5s togethers in it, but I found the one way you have to go through the back loop. So it's actually really easy using a crochet hook. Just put your crochet hook in through the back and you can pull it through. For the other one, when you're going in through the front, I found a tutorial that you just wrap your yarn on the needle and then you pass the loops over one at a time. And it's a lot easier than trying to get your needle through 5 loops from the left-hand side of the stitch, because you're not positive that you've got it all the way through. And so I find that a lot easier, and it's been going faster since I've done that. So those are in those little vine stitches that are up the middle. And then there's the upside down wishbone one so it actually looks more complicated, I think, in the picture than what the actual working of it is, because it's pretty easy. Like it's just an 8-row repeat. So I've got that memorized now. And like the wishbone cable is only every 8 rows. And then this is the one you've got your little top of the vine every 4 rows. So it's actually pretty easy to remember. So you don't have to have Knit Companion open there the whole time. So I actually could knit that in the car. So
the color is really pretty too. It's going to be a gorgeous fall sweater.
I really like the color of it. I think the color was called Nutkin.
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 There's a sock pattern called Nutkin that I have always had in my list to make too.
So
Barb, I don't know the name. Barb's. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. It like the pattern's called smoked orange, and that color is sort of like smoked orange.
Yeah, absolutely. I think smoked orange is after a drink, though, right? All of her pattern names are drinks.
Yes.
I think. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So Barb is asking if I know the name of the outdoor school that Miles is going to. I do not, Barb. I'm sorry. But how many of them can there be? I don't know. Like they do live in Chilliwack area. So you said that they live close together. They could absolutely be going. Her granddaughter is going to one too. They could be going to the same school. There can't be that many miles there. So you can ask, I guess, if he's there. Okay. All right. So I started last week am I going to get to wear it this year? I don't know. The Kutar top by Sari Nordlund. And this, I will show a picture of it because it's just a little tricky to explain. I'm not that far on it, but I want it to stop at this point. So it has, as you can see, it's the same lace pattern as in this sweater, but this one is like a tank top, and it has an I-cord edge that I'm knitting into the sides, and then that I-cord will go up. You will do an I-cord across the top, and then that turns into the straps as an I-cord as well. And I'm knitting this using the Durum Natura Antigone in the color Cypress. So I have finished the lace and I wanted to block the lace. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Look at
That's
this.
pretty. Yep.
So it actually maybe would look better if I just kind of hold it up like this. So that's about where I think it will sit. And I did the, she did show or did suggest a cast on that I did, and then I pulled it out. I wasn't thrilled with it. So I went in and I used Laura Nelkin's method. So this one is actually on the try-on cord, which was super easy to do. And then at the bottom, I just finished the lace. So I've just put the end stoppers from my needle on there, and I wet blocked this last night to see. I wanted to really see where I'm at. And because I wasn't getting gauge. So I'm playing around a little bit with this, and I wanted to make sure of where this was going to sit on my chest before I continue. So it suggests to knit, I think 8¼ inches from this cast on edge. And I think I'm at 7 inches. So the rest will be stockinette. And then what makes me happy about that, let me just take the banner down so you can kind of see, is that when that is sort of sitting on me kind of there, then that means all askew. That means that this is actually just above the full bust. So there'll be a little bit of stockinette, and then that will sort of tie together under the arms. But I love this color. This is really nice. I'm not going to say it's my most fun experience to knit with, especially with the lace. I mean, goodness, this was tricky lace because again, it's Japanese lace, so you're knitting lace every row. But in this one, at least, I was knitting lace every row in the round, so always on the knit side. Now I'm doing lace, and I guess you would have experienced this with your love letter love letter top. So now I'm doing lace every row, but I'm doing lace on the purl rows as well. So it took me a minute to wrap my head around going across the row on the graph and then coming back. And of course, every symbol means the opposite depending on what side you're on. So you definitely need to make sure you know which side is the right side. But honestly, it's so, so pretty. I think I'll get a lot of wear. I'm going to continue working on it, even though like we may not have the weather to support wearing it completely alone as a tank top, but definitely I think I would wear that under like a blazer or like under a linen shirt as well. It's really pretty, really pretty.
Okay.
And blocked up so nice.
Lowlander said, did you mention the name of the yarn?
Yes, it's the Durum Natura Antigone. I'll type it in because it's kind of a mouthful.
So I really liked working with the Antigone.
I think I'm really going to enjoy working with it when I get to the stockinette part. I just found that it's, and again, some of this, like here, for instance, there's an interesting wrap stitch where you are wrapping around 5 stitches 3 times. And I can maybe just show one of those, like right there. So it just got a little tricky. On a metal needle, the yarn I find it can be a little slippery. So I just didn't want to lose a stitch because I would never be able to recover in this lace pattern. I'm certain of it. So, but and also I wanted to be mindful of my gauge. So I was purposely trying to knit tight to keep everything really snug. And I think once I get into the stockinette, I won't have to be so mindful of that. I just wanted my lace to be really crisp. So I was purposely pulling everything a little bit tighter than I would normally knit. So I think, but I do really like it. And I won't say it's softened up a lot for sure, even in the blocking, but it's, and again, like same as what you said, I don't think the lace is too open just to wear like a bra under it. Some people had mentioned that they felt it was too open, but again, because it is sort of above my full bust, even this one, like I am wearing a dress under this tonight. So you can see sort of the dark blue down here, but like up here where it's against my skin, I don't think that that's too open. I wouldn't be uncomfortable wearing that if it were just over a bra. So yeah. And Haley, I'm not pulling that sweater up tonight either. So we're all good. Okay, what else do you have?
Okay, so I have also been working on my 4 of a kind, where I'm doing the Be Kind by Brenda Brayfield. Let me just pull up a picture here. I know it's in here. There we go. So that's the one that I'm working on. And it actually was good. I did actually knit on it quite a bit in the car on the way here. So
that would be a great car knitting project for sure.
It is. So I am using Solar Sock by Full Moon Fibers in the Night Swim colorway.
Yes.
So it's getting there. I'm past that. There's the halfway point. You can see right here. And I'm now on my, I just dropped stitches. Oh no.
Uh-oh. Oh
no. No, stitches down. Anyways, I will fix that. But yeah, so I'm on the way down. I've still got, these are big skeins of yarn. I'm still
yes,
going to have
they are
115 gram skeins. But yeah, so I'm on the way down. It's got a built-in I-cord edge on each side. I love the little tiny pops of color. Like it's got blues and purples and then just the row of eyelet. I think it's going to be a perfect shawl with my jean jacket in the fall. And yeah, and there's where I was, where that little stitch marker is. So I got quite a bit done in the, I think I worked on that and some socks in the car, but it was good, easy car knitting because I really didn't have to look at a pattern or like it's I believe a 12 row repeat, like where you put in the decreases and things. So it was pretty easy car knitting. So that will probably be, who knows, I might even get it finished in the car on the way home. So,
well, the thing is, you say that they're 115 gram skeins, but I weighed mine and they were both 125.
Yeah, I didn't weigh mine. So it quite possibly could have been more. All I did was I weighed it. I was after half-weighed. I just wanted to be sure that I hadn't gone too far and I had lots of yarn. I didn't have to worry about not having enough yarn. Okay. And
they have really been, have you, well, I don't know if you've been paying attention to Instagram while you've been away, but they have been popping out some crazy, beautiful colors. Those girls, Full Moon Fibers, Jessica and Allison, my goodness, they really, really, really have got
great colors. Yeah.
Great colors that are coming out. And every single one that they showcase, I love the way they showcase their yarn because they show you the skein, they show you a knitted sample, and then they also show you a crocheted granny square
sample. Yep.
Yes. So I think that's a really, really good way to market their yarn and their colors. Oh my gosh. So beautiful right now.
Okay, the stitches were on. They were bothering me.
Ooh.
On the needle, but they're good now. They're good now.
And everybody took a breath of relief.
Okay, so then I needed just plain socks. Look at these are so cool.
Oh, fun.
So this is actually a sock set that I won off a podcast a long time ago. I don't even think she podcasts anymore, but this is Pixie Yarns from the States. And so this was a set that had like a 50 gram main skein and then a 20 gram mini. So I did the mini around the top. I put my heel in already. And yeah, it's so cool the way it's knitting up. So it's kind of like the way it was dyed. I should have taken a picture of the yarn, but like when you rolled out the skein, I would say at least 3/4 of it was black. And then the other was all the colors of the rainbow, just like in 1/4 of the section. So then it's knitting up into these, like you can see all the colors in the, and it just looks super cool. So I will link the Pixie Yarns, but I think that I didn't see it on her website now. Her website's still there, so she does still dye yarn. But so if you want it, just maybe if you told her you like the rainbow sock set.
Yeah.
Because I do think it looks really cool.
I bought yarn that I thought was going to do that once upon a time, thinking that it would exactly do that because it was mostly gray, but it had a rainbow, just like pop of rainbow at the very end. Mine didn't come out like that though. So I ended up actually using it for Miles when he was born because it was perfect for him. And I did the little sweater and I did a hat and the colors came out really good for him, but it wasn't in my mind. So once again, I buy yarn and honestly, I have no idea. I can't figure out what I think it's going to look like when I knit with it.
So, okay. And there's my heel. So it is a forethought. I did think about where I was going to put the heel. I put my needles in. And then once I got, like I said, once I got so far, I went back, I cut in and I did the heel. And I did the same rounded heel pattern. It's the same pattern that I do when I do the toe of my sock, but I did it on the heel because we had a discussion once about how our heels really aren't triangular shaped.
That's
either.
right.
But what I did do was in the toe, I just start right into the heel decreases, or sorry, into the decreases. But for this, I knit 5 rows of stocking at first and then
Yes.
went into the rounded toe. So this is a 2.25 millimeter needle. These socks are for me, so they are 60 stitches, and I'm going to have lots of yarn with just the 50-gram skein. I haven't decided yet whether to do the toe in the purple or do the toe in this, although I think I might do the toe in the purple because that'll keep the stripes perfectly the way they are just by keeping the 60 stitches all the way down.
Yes. Yes.
So, but yeah,
I would agree.
and even though it's just plain stockinette because of the way the stripes are coming,
It's still fun.
That's right.
Yes.
It's still fun. So that's perfect car knitting. Okay. Do you have anything else?
No, not that I was actively working on.
Okay.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I have not actively really knit this week. I got that lace bit done, and that's kind of it. Getting ready to go on this trip has been a lot of work. Trying to pack a trailer and figure out what we might want to be doing for 3 weeks in a trailer, or looking ahead at the weather and trying to sort out what clothing I might want to wear and get rain gear in case we need it, and hiking clothes and my hiker boots, to be comfortable. And yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but we're on our way out the door tomorrow early. So,
okay. So my next two whips are actually crochet.
Okay.
So the first one is I am doing the Jethro by Tanis Lavalley. And there we go. So, and this yarn that I'm doing it in, I think I got 3 years ago at the very first Knit City Montreal, but it wasn't at Knit City Montreal that I got it. I actually got it at Espace Tricot. And it is this yarn here, and it is Shetland fingering. Although even though it's Shetland fingering, it is thick. It is
weight. Definitely fingering, or thick. Yeah. I bought it years ago in New York, and again at Espace Tricot. And then again after that, and I doubled up and bought the same darn colors again, thinking I was buying something different. But it is really nice to work with, isn't it?
Yeah. And the brand is actually Elemental Effects. So it's Elemental Effects Shetland fingering. So I've got 7 different colors of this that I'm using, and I've got some of my squares done already. So here we go. So there's.
Very nice. You haven't wove your ends in yet.
I have not. I really like that one.
Yeah, very pretty.
There.
Oh, I like that one.
And there. So you have to do 36 squares. I've got 7 done. I'm going to do 9, and then that'll be a quarter of them. And then I'm going to weave in all the ends, and then do another 9, weave in all the ends. And then they're all going to be joined together with, this is Patagonia in one of their grays. I'm not sure which one, the lighter gray that they've got. So this is Juniper Moon Farms Patagonia.
Okay.
I have enough yarn and stash to do this. And I think I'll just hold up my little basket here of all my colors.
Oh, it looks so pretty.
So I know, and it matches the basket too. So there's my basket.
Absolutely.
Of all my little colors. And what I'm doing is every time I do a square, then I weigh them. And then from the most to the least, like I do the outside edge with my one that I've got the most yarn, and then down so that I'm dividing up the yarn evenly. And then I will make sure that I've got the same number of squares that have like the same outer edge. I don't want all the outer edges lighter. I want it to be balanced.
Right. Yeah.
Dark and light. So yeah, so there's all the colors that I had put together before, and I think they'll look really nice with the.
I think so too.
Yeah. So this is that they will basically have another ring around them in the foundation color, like in the main color. So that's why those look quite a bit smaller than the ones that Tanis has. So I'm doing all these first, and then I'll go around them in the gray, and then I think you slip stitch it together. So. Yeah,
Isabel wants to know if that's a Big Blue Mama basket. I think it is.
I don't think it is.
Oh, no?
I got it in New Brunswick. I don't think it is, but I don't have the tag that says what it is. I still have the price tag on it. I don't have the basket tag, but it's a perfect basket for that project. So, okay. And then the last project I'm doing, I was visiting my friend Tracy last week, and she had gifted me a crochet pattern. So of course we had to go get yarn and start it.
Of course.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
This one is, let me just bring up a picture of the sweater. It's called Charlotte.
Oh, that's pretty.
And let me just, I've got the, okay, so it's the Charlotte sweater by Asia Colosi. So it's just kind of nice and open. And I mean, she looks like she's just got like a tank or something underneath it, but I thought it would be really super nice too, even with like a button down shirt underneath.
Yeah, I think so.
So I am doing mine in, let me just get rid of the picture. Just in Barocco Vintage DK. And really like
such a pretty color.
This color I think is called Guava.
Very nice.
But yeah, it's really turning out. And I just want to show everybody this because you will be amazed. I did a swatch. I did a swatch because I am not a crocheter.
Well, crochet is a different beast. You have to know what your gauge is. Yes.
So I did do a swatch and it was not on gauge, but I didn't want it any looser than that. So I did the math and adjusted the sizing. So I'm super happy with it. And it's so much fun.
Like, isn't it fun? I know.
It is. So really enjoying it. I'm actually, Haley, it does have a slight bell sleeve, but I think I'll bring the picture up again. I don't particularly like bell sleeves. For me, I feel like they get in the way of everything. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to leave off that very last one. I'm going to pick up stitches and knitting, do a rapid decrease and do a cuff on it. So
that'll be a good idea.
They'll still be kind of bell, but you'll have the closed in cuff at the bottom.
Yeah,
and I think
great idea.
that will make it more wearable for me. So, but yeah, really, I'm just so much loving the crochet. Like it's just, and you know what, like my needle's out of it. It doesn't matter. You don't have to worry about your needle falling out. And if you make a mistake, it's just like rip back a little.
A few stitches to do again. Yes, I know. Yeah. It's so much easier.
Yeah. And I've actually did have to rip it back a few times to get the size right down at the bottom because I did my swatch, did the math, did the first row and said, no, it looks too big. So ripped it out, did it again smaller, got 3 rows in and went, no, it's too small. So I went back to my actual swatch and now it's actually turning out what I want. So I'm really happy with it. So it's very fun.
Yeah, it's very nice. Very nice. So, where did it just go? Pat had a question. She wanted to know if we have the Knit Companion subscription or the free version. She's been using the free version, and she's wondering if the paid version would be more useful. We're both going to say yes. It would be more useful if you do anything that has charts, right? Because we love it for our charts. It has more options. It just definitely has more options, right?
Yes, I have had the paid for version since the beginning.
Yeah, and it's quite reasonable. I think it is, well, in Canada, I think it's about $26 a year, which is incredible value. You do have to renew it every year. But I think that's incredible value for what you get out of it. And I love how anytime I pick up my device, it remembers where I was, where I was working. I can't lose my spot. I can't lose the paper. It's just always there. It's just so handy.
Like on things like the love letter top that I just finished with the chart that's in it. If you've got the paid for version, like you can set up your chart so that you just click up every row. It highlights the row that you're working on. You can enlarge it or make it smaller. If you've got a design where you've got sometimes a lot of cable patterns will have like, do this cable on this many stitches, do this cable on this many stitches. You can actually combine those all into one chart with Knit Companion. I mean, like you've seen how many whips that I've got right at the moment. I don't know how I would keep track of those if I didn't have them in Knit Companion. So, and like I said, I may not necessarily always need all the features of the paid for version, but for the times that I do, like in a lace chart or a color work chart, I don't know that I could have done the Marie Wallen patterns that I've done without having Knit Companion.
That's right. Yeah.
So, and at the full version. So, and I know that there's still things that it does that I haven't used or haven't figured out yet. So, and I do believe there's even voice activated I don't have
There
mine set up
is.
for
So you
that.
can tell it to go to the next row.
Next row. Yep. And if
Yep.
you make a mistake, you can just like hold it on once and it'll go down one row for you. Or if you, like ripped it out like I did in the one thing, you can just make it go right back to the beginning. So now Joy says the Android is $40.99, and I think the Android is more expensive than the iOS.
Oh, I wonder why that is.
Well, the one for like Mac or for like iPads came out first. So I don't know. I know that I don't pay that much for mine.
No. Like I said, I think
But
it's 26
I can
Canadian.
say that I don't know if our prices are because we have been buying it from the beginning and it's a locked in price. I don't know. Like I wouldn't want to say for sure that that's what it is for everybody because
No.
I'm not
I
sure.
I don't know.
Like you'd have
Maybe
to
somebody would
have
let
to
us
look
know.
it up. I just know what I pay for it is definitely worth it. I don't know what I would do without it.
Yeah, same. Absolutely the same.
Okay. Did you buy anything?
Oh, well, I ordered yarn from the Knitting Loft, but it was just yarn that everybody has already seen because what I was doing is my Sea Haven sweater that I'm making out of the Cardi. I had bought enough to make a short sleeve version, and then I waffled on the knit, and I'm at the point where I think I would really wear this sweater in the fall as a transition piece. So I ordered another skein of that color so that I can make it long sleeves. And then the other thing that I did get from them is this handy dandy tool that I haven't tried yet. This is a cord smith. And what this does is it makes I-cord. So it's sort of looks like this little hook event thing here. There's 3 of them, 3 little hooks, and you just sort of loop it through. I haven't tried it yet, so I can report back when I do. But there's actually, a couple of things. So on this top, I'm wondering if I can use it to do the straps. And then also there's a couple of headbands that I'm interested to make. And instead of being a band that goes all the way around my head, they actually tie, and they have an I-cord ties. And so I thought this might be good for something like that too. I don't know. I mean, it feels very big and kind of clunky in my hand, but I think it's just one of those learning curves that you have to get familiar with using it. And then everything will just sort of slide into place as you do it. So, yeah. So I've wanted one for a while. That's what I bought.
Okay. Well, Jonathan and I went to, in Muskoka to I think it's the Muskoka Yarn Connection. And they have this beautiful banner outside. We've got a picture here. They have this beautiful banner outside. So we took our picture outside but she's got this beautiful banner that's got these crocheted flowers all over it. Like they're so pretty. So we had to do a selfie outside there. Now, all that I got in there was like just one skein of sock yarn and just a gray, like plain to do one of my Lord of the Rings socks. But I'll just grab it here. I wasn't going to show you till next week, but I'm going to show you. Just a minute.
Okay.
I have to find it first. Okay. There were samples there, and Jacqueline fell in love with this one sweater. So here's the sweater. It's just like a really cozy classic cardigan. It's called the Tree Honey cardigan. This is a pattern by I think her name is Michelle. It's the owner of the store.
Yeah, I was going to say I think they do quite a few patterns on their own because they sort of kit them out as well.
Yeah. And the yarn that she got to do it in again is a yarn. It is Muskoka Yarn Goddess. So
and I've used that to make a hat. It's beautiful.
Woodland, which is 80% merino, 15% baby alpaca, and 5% viscose because there's a few little tweedy bits in it. And this color is called chestnut. So it's really, really pretty. So I said I would knit it for her. So I'm going to be casting on that, but it's on big needles and it looks like a pretty easy stitch. I already looked at the pattern and it's knit in pieces, but I'm going to do it in one piece. And I think the yarn will be nice to work with. So, okay. So we're seeing lots of different prices here for the Knit Companion. So I'm thinking that I know that before, see, Susan says she's been she pays $14.99, but she's been using it since the beta version. So I do think that our price is
Oh,
what it
maybe
is because
it has
of the
to
length
do
of
with
time
when
that
you
we've been using
get in
it.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I would say though, Victoria is saying $40 Canadian. Still, I would still pay $40 a year for it. Definitely, it's worth that. Just the ease of using those patterns and those color work charts. For me, that would be worth the $40. Absolutely.
yeah.
So
Okay. And Sandra said essentials is $29.99. So I guess you just have to look at it and see like what you're going to pay going in. And I guess look at some of the fine print and see if you pay that, if it's going to stay at that.
yeah, maybe.
You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
I know I don't pay that much. So, okay.
Just laughing at Isabel. Class is going to Knit City, Calgary this weekend. Isabel says she wishes she could go, but she would have to remortgage her house if she went to all of the events. I know this past weekend was Flock in Seattle. I would love to have gone to Flock. I know that Linda and the knitting group out west, they went, and I'm sure they had an amazing time. I haven't seen pictures yet, but I'm sure they will post some. And excuse me, not a lot of sleep this week either. But today, or do you still have a whip? Because I want to talk with some. Okay.
Nope, that's it.
Did you get your emails today? Because Little Red Mitten is hosting a knitty event coming up in September. Did you see that?
I won't be here in September.
Well, you won't be, but I will be on the 20th and the 21st. And I will be at that event. So it kind of looks like similar to the mini meetup that we went to in Chicago. And so it's 2 days of knitting, and I don't know what else the girls have planned for us, but it's incredibly reasonable. You can go, I think it's $15 a day, or if you want to go for both days, I think it's $25. There are they haven't released a whole lot of details about it yet. Those are coming, and they're hosting it at is it the Holiday Inn that's in St. Thomas?
I don't know.
Thinking they said that it's a hotel that's just a minutes away from the Little Red Mitten. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think that'll be a fun couple of days event. So I will keep you posted. I'll let you know more as we get closer. Okay. Did you buy anything else?
Mm-hmm.
You've been behaving.
Well, I bought the yarn for the crocheted sweater, the Barocco DK, but nope. I didn't buy anything in the Muskoka store, but you know, I got my fix because Jacqueline bought. So it just makes me happy for people to buy yarn. It doesn't have to be me.
That's right. It doesn't matter. Good.
So okay, we should probably quickly talk about our knit alongs that we have going on.
Yes, I'll go grab those.
So our first one is our sock knit along, and we have a year-long sock knit along. All you have to do is finish socks. We have draws once a month. So for the at the end of the month, we go back and we draw actually right back to the beginning of the year. So the more pairs of socks that you get in there, the more chances you have of winning. So every month we have 2 prizes. We have both a pattern prize that's donated by Natalie of Remembrances Pottery, and then we always have some type of a sock yarn prize as well. So, and then at the end of the year, we'll go back and we'll draw, and we'll have a grand prize at the end of the year. So doesn't matter when you started the socks, could have been in 1980. If you finish them, you can put them in and just put them in the month that you finish them in.
Yeah.
So, okay. And you could talk about our Advent along.
Advent along is the knit along Makealong that we're hosting, where you take the pressure off of yourself in December. So it's something that you started earlier in the year that you're working towards for a December project. It might be a gift. It might be something for yourself, and you work on it a little bit every month. We have, oh dear, I'm going to start. I'm sorry. We have a chatter thread going, and we will open the finished objects thread in December. And each quarter, at the end of the quarter, we have been drawing from the chatter thread for a prize. And we will draw again at the end of December for the prize for the year. And it's for those of us that want to participate in some form of an Advent project in December, but just can't commit to doing that level of knitting every day in December. So this way you'll have your project, and your knitting will all be done throughout the year.
Okay. And then our third one that's going on for this quarter is our try on a new designer make along. So for this one, all you have to do is make a garment or an accessory, basically a garment or an accessory, but not socks, from a designer that you've never worked from before. So for instance, for me, my crochet top that I'm doing, not the one by Tanis Lavely, because I have worked on hers before, but the other one, the new one. Yeah, just a designer that you haven't knit any of their projects before. And there is a chatter thread and a finished object thread, and we will draw a prize for that at the end of September. So, and it's a good way to, you know, look through Ravelry, look through your patterns, try out something new. I know sometimes we get, you know, we get zeroed in on one designer, and that's fine, but it's nice to branch out. You know, there's always new designs and new patterns coming in there. So it's nice to try something new. And I don't know, I like trying out new designers and just see how things go, because, you know,
absolutely.
try one of their patterns. So
absolutely.
Okay. So that's, and there were a few questions about the dates for the event at Little Red Mitten.
I think it is the 20th and the 21st.
Okay. Well, we'll verify that, and
we will verify it, and we'll have
the actual dates next week.
Right.
Because I think I just briefly saw something on Instagram. I haven't looked at my email, so I don't. But we'll get those dates and put them in. There will be full show notes next week. So anything that's that you don't see this week, we will have it in the notes next week. So, okay.
And you will be home next week.
I will be home next week. Yep.
And I will not be. I think, I'm trying to remember, thinking about our itinerary. I might be in Mount Rushmore next Tuesday. I'm not sure. But I will be somewhere between here and Yellowstone. I don't know. And I do have internet though, so hopefully the show will be able to do that. Yes, okay. September 20th and 21st.
Yeah, thanks, Lynn. So September 20th and 21st.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. It's a busy time right now. There's a lot going on.
Yeah,
a lot.
So okay, well that's all I have.
Same.
I have a lot of stuff to put away now, but
I have some packing to do. Yes. And
I have marshmallows to eat.
Well, you can have the marshmallows, because that's something I am not a fan of.
You don't like roasted marshmallows? Toasted marshmallows? Oh, I love them.
Too sweet. Just no. But anyway. Okay. Well, it's good seeing you again.
Yeah. Well, I guess I won't see you, and you'll only be home for a little while, and I'll be leaving again.
Yes. Stephanie, yes, I did find the national park patterns, and actually Jenny shipped me yarn to do one of the hats. It didn't come in yet though. I was hoping it was going to show up today, and I was going to take it along with me, but I have some of the patterns, and then I found some other ones. I actually found somebody sent me suggestions on a super cute little pair of socks called like the camping socks. And I thought, you know what, they might be kind of fun. The color work is just up around the leg, so I might grab some colors for that too. I also pulled out yarn today. I thought, oh, I really like to do that other sheep camp sweater that I was going to get started. So I pulled that out. I might wind that up. I have a ginger snap skein of yarn that I really wanted to do a certain pair of socks. It's the yak sock yarn. So I might wind that up. And then plus I have the projects that I already have on needles that I'm taking with me. So, and I am fairly confident that I will be able to find some yarn stores along the way should I run dry on knitting. Yeah. Absolutely.
And Amy says, happy crocheting and knitting, everyone. So that's right. We have to say happy crocheting now too. And Amy, my socks, it's been cool up here some nights, and I brought my socks that you made me, and they have been perfect.
Yes. And mine are set aside. They're going with me as well. Yes. So, yes, absolutely.
Okay. So thanks everybody for joining us. And we hope you all have an amazing week, and we will see you back here next week. And
absolutely.
Take care, and happy knitting and crocheting and crafting.
Happy crafting. Yeah. Happy making. Happy making.
Yeah. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.